There is snow falling. It's all over my jacket. It's all over the microphone here. You can see it out in our WMAZ Channel 13 parking lot.
A Superior Court judge may decide next week whether Bibb County prosecutors can handle the burglary cases against Stephen McDaniel.
The horse's size and kind nature that makes it so good for therapy.
The recent violence has been connected to gangs. Does Macon have a gang problem?
Tori Ivy says they're never too young to put on the safety goggles and understand more about how science can be fun.
The umbrella may be a handy accessory today.
That's right.
Steering these cars takes a lot of practice and a lot of hard work, and it's a little bit different than driving your own car. Pulling the trigger is what makes the car go forward.
Now, the gates opened about 3 o'clock today for the sneak a peek, but people are not just taking a peek. They are going all out.
The city of Macon decided to accept more than $7 million from the Macon Water Authority.
The mayor is getting ready to present his budget. Now, here's a copy of the presentation he's going to be giving tonight. The budget is $71.9 million.
Now that the rain and snow has kind of subsided, we decided to join Jason outside here in the backyard garden.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem.
After spending nearly a year oceans apart, only a sea of soldiers stood between Steve Stahl and his wife, Captain Susan Stahl.
It's been 9 years since it happened last time, and it's just so much better this time. I just have missed her for the last 7, 8, 9 months.
After navigating through the crowd of anxious family members, Stahl found his hero.
They had a pretty big sign, so everybody on my bus saw them before we pulled up. It wasn't very hard.
Close to 300 families welcomed home their 48th Brigade soldiers with open arms. Coco Burdette couldn't wait to see her mom make her way across the field to meet her granddaughter Desiree for the first time.
Teared up. I'm just so excited that she's home. It feels great. It's everything that you think it would be, plus more. It was a journey. I mean, to see the good things that we were doing over there was amazing.
The crowd filled with spirit and emotion as they cheered on their loved ones, including 48th Brigade Commander Colonel Lee Durham, proud of his unit's mission.
Right now, Afghanistan is the most dangerous it's been in the entire war. Has been the last year, and we were a part of that. So we lost 8 great soldiers. I feel for those families, pray for them constantly. For the soldiers that came back, we're very excited. Now they get to spend some quality time with their families, and then we'll start training up for whatever the future holds for us.
And his family just as proud and excited to have him home.
We're just very glad to be a family again.
Still overwhelmed by the reunion, Steve and Susan Stahl aren't sure of their next move.
No plans, just relax and be together.
But they're just glad to be back in each other's arms.
Happy as can be. It's awesome. Wonderful. Best day. Best day.
A day these families will always remember as they start their next journey together. Stephanie Suskind, 13 WMAZ, Eyewitness News.
I saw a couple cop cars outside, and I figured that just a fire alarm, another fire alarm was off again. And walked up, saw people, and they were like, it's not a fire. Someone is in there with a knife. And I was like, oh, wow.
Ansley Abraham came home to his Parkhurst dorm at Georgia College and State University Tuesday afternoon, but could not go inside.
But I was very surprised.
The school went on lockdown for about 15 minutes, sending out mass text messages and emails to students, telling them a man was reported with a knife at the Parkhurst dorm and warning them to stay inside.
I went into panic mode and turned off the lights and locked the door.
School officials say when the woman realized she was in trouble, she used the emergency alert system by pressing this button. It sends an alarm automatically to the campus police so they can respond right away.
Just as if you were making a 911 call, they know exactly where that panic button is pushed.
Judy Bailey with CCSU says police arrested 19-year-old Justin McTiernan about 2 blocks away and 18-year-old David Jenkins. Both students face armed robbery charges. The woman told police McTiernan entered her room.
He took police back to a location near the tennis courts where they did recover a knife.
Bailey says the emergency system notified students within 4 minutes of the report, and between swipe cards to get inside the dorm and other security measures, Ansley Abraham says he feels safe at his school.
I mean, it's a small community, and we have a lot of law enforcement agencies that, are always on call and pretty close.
And he knows with the push of a button, the police can quickly be there. Stephanie Suskind, 13 WMAZ, Eyewitness News.
Hi.
Angela Whitfield shuffles her 4-year-old daughter Camille around town, and often with her 2 young sons in tow.
I try to keep them occupied. They have their little Game Boys and books and coloring books, and
fortunately we have a DVD player, so they watch that. But on the long trips, they can get to going sometimes.
And when that happens, she says her first move, pull over to talk to the kids.
It does distract you. It can take your mind off driving, and I can't be turning around in the car constantly getting onto them. So that is something I definitely try to do.
Macon Police Traffic Officer Tracy Stanley says he wishes more people reacted like Whitfield. In his 6 years with the department, Stanley says he's seen it all on the road.
People eat while driving. People put makeup on. Of course, texting. People on the phone. There are some cases I've actually seen people bend over backwards in their back seat.
There are three main types of driving distractions: visual, taking your eyes off the road; manual, taking your hands off the wheel; and cognitive, taking your mind off what you're doing.
You may think a quick read of the paper won't cause you a problem in the car, but you're actually more than 3 times more likely to get in an accident when reading behind the wheel. Looking at something outside your car increases your crash risk by about 4 times. And the most risky, reaching for a moving object in your car, makes you 9 times more likely to crash.
If you're not paying attention to what's in front of you or your surroundings when it comes to driving, then that's dangerous.
If you carry it to the car.
For Angela Whitfield, one close call a few years ago was enough to change her habits.
On the phone, I was just sitting at a red light and just let my foot off the brake and just rolled into the person in front of me, and it was nothing more than just talking on the cell phone, taking my mind off of it. Minor thing, but it could have been much worse.
Now she says her precious cargo isn't worth the risk.
Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us today. I'm Stephanie Suskind.
And I'm meteorologist David Ernst. It is Wednesday morning, November the 16th.
I didn't see or hear any rain last night, but when I walked outside this morning, the ground was certainly wet.
Yes, we did see a little bit. I'll have to then going to be dipping back down into the 30s.
Oh, boy. We'll hear much more about that coming up in just a few minutes.
Sure thing.
Thanks. Accused murderer Stephen McDaniel may still have a bond hearing tomorrow. That's after he was indicted Tuesday on 1 count of murder and 30 counts of child exploitation. McDaniel is accused of killing and dismembering a former Mercer Law School classmate and neighbor, Lauren Giddings. District Attorney Greg Winters and lead investigator on the case, David Patterson, came down to the grand jury around 10:30 Tuesday morning. The indictment means the group of grand jurors decided Winters has enough evidence to formally charge McDaniel. The documents do not say how or exactly when Giddings was murdered, only that McDaniel allegedly killed Giddings, quote, by inflicting bodily harm in a manner unknown to the grand jury at this time, including decapitation of said victim with instrument or instruments unknown. McDaniel's defense attorney, Floyd Buford, says his client maintains his innocence. He says Tuesday's indictment wasn't a surprise since jurors only heard the prosecution side of the story. He says he talked with McDaniel about the status of the case before the indictment.
Of course, on an indictment,
Buford says he wanted to talk with his client before deciding whether to cancel that bond hearing scheduled for tomorrow. Winters says he's also not sure what will happen, but Eleanor Laziston did talk to him about his next step. The DA's office has worked closely with Macon Police on this case. Chief Mike Burns' office released a statement Tuesday saying, quote, today's decision by the grand jury confirms what those of us privy to the details knew would be the outcome. I was never concerned about McDaniel making bond and had no doubt that he would be indicted. Stay with 13WMAZ, 13WMAZ.com, and MAZ Mobile for updates on this story and the status of tomorrow's bond hearing. Now here's a look at some headlines around the state this morning. Georgia legislature has proposed a measure that, if passed, would put the words "In God We Trust" on every Georgia license plate. The bill comes after a public contest had to be redone because those words appeared on possible designs without making it clear the motto was a sticker, not a permanent print. Another measure filed yesterday would require anyone seeking money for food stamps to take drug tests. You can check out more headlines taking place around the state. Just visit us online at 13WMAZ.com or follow us on MAZ Mobile. If you're making travel plans that include an airplane flight, expect long lines at security. That's because the U.S. Travel Association says more people are carrying on their bags to avoid check fees. As the Gag Shaban shows you, the group is now asking the airlines to reconsider the extra charges. Now, those checked baggage fees are also attractive to airlines because they are exempt from federal taxes. A few airlines still do offer a free checked bag. Those include JetBlue and Southwest, both of which operate out of Atlanta's Hartsfield Airport. If you're leaning more toward a trip to the store instead of a trip to the airport this Thanksgiving holiday, you can get an extra early start this year.
Toys R Us will open at 9 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. Now, the store in Warner Robins says they haven't decided yet on what time they'll open. Also getting an early start, Walmart at 10 p.m. Thanksgiving night. Other retailers like Target, Macy's, Best Buy, and Kohl's will welcome shoppers at midnight. Well, one educator is now at the top of his class. Monday night, Tiago Alicia was named the Bibb County School System's Teacher of the Year. And today, before the school bell rings, he'll be joining us in the studio around 6:30. So on Facebook today, we want you to tell us about a special teacher who's influenced your life. Who is that one teacher who still holds a special place in your heart, and why? Well, Travis Lee Couch says, the teacher that inspired me the most is my old 8th grade teacher, Dr. Kidder. He says, I thank her for motivating me to succeed. And Sherry Mock also says, there's not just one teacher. Every one of them helped to make me the person I am today, and I am forever thankful to them. Join our discussion on Facebook. Just type in 13WMAZ.com and become a fan of our page by clicking the like button. You'll then have access to all the latest news and information on our 13WMAZ Facebook news feed.